Hi, I'm Stock Investor Davis. Welcome to the channel and please subscribe. I want to catch up on the Nvidia storyline, especially considering there was a recent stock price correction. I'll share my opinion on the topic. Additionally, I'll briefly go over my valuation for this company and provide a technical analysis. Starting with the video's focus, why is Nvidia's price going into a correction? Many journalists share a similar sentiment that Nvidia's price drop is largely due to Supermicro, another company I started closely following, announcing in a press release that it will report its next quarter's earnings on April 30th with no mention of an updated revenue guidance. This is standard procedure for all public companies, and it's uncommon to receive an updated revenue guidance. However, in Supermicro's case, this company has provided an update in revenue guidance 3 of the past 4 quarters, not including the current quarter. Additionally, one time that it didn't update its revenue guidance, the company did exactly as it guided. It's also worth noting in one of the 3 times the company did update its revenue guidance, it was to let investors know that its revenue will be below the original guidance. We need to take that into consideration. Getting back to Nvidia and its relation to Supermicro, there is a mutual partnership between the two companies as Nvidia supplies GPU chips to Supermicro, which then implements the chips into data center racks or stacks, thus leading some investors to believe if Supermicro sales go down or stop growing, then Nvidia sales must be going down or have stopped growing. This logic makes sense, and I expect there to be a high correlation between the two companies over the next few years. That said, if the correlation between the two companies were to break, at this time, I suspect it to be Supermicro who becomes stagnant first rather than Nvidia. This is because Supermicro's part in this business equation appears to be easily replaceable by companies such as Dell, Hewlett-Packard, and Lenovo. As my research into this company, Supermicro, suggests, it currently does things a little better and a little bit faster, whereas Nvidia's GPU comparisons with other chip makers always ranks higher and currently remains roughly a year ahead of the competition. The trend being around the time Nvidia releases a new product advancement, its competition will announce a product that rivals Nvidia's previous product release. This should lend some comfort to the Nvidia investor. Switching to Nvidia's daily trading chart and starting with its valuation, currently I'm using a 50 to 88 earnings multiple to value the company as indicated by the red box here and the green box here. The green box being my estimated bottom of the fair value range, roughly $600, is at 50 times its earnings multiple, and the red box being the top of my fair value range, roughly $1,050 at 88 times earnings multiple. This multiple range is based on the company's trading pattern over the past 5 years. Notice how, based on the company's guidance going into next quarter, my fair value range trends upward. Further, when utilizing the analyst projection for Nvidia's full year, my fair value range continues upward. Any forward projections are liable to change as new information is available. Pivoting to the technical analysis, first notice this uptrend that I drew in here starting back in January 2023. Yes, there has been a few quarters where it was below the trend or above the trend, but it appears to be holding up relatively well. Also noting when the price was outside of the trend range, it proved to be in the short term a buying or selling opportunity respectively. In the more recent times, 2024 specifically, We see this strong uptrend during January through March, cutting through our longer term uptrend, reaching new highs of 960, which I marked as showing slight resistance, also marking some support near 850. Then going into April, and as of today, a downtrend is forming, potentially pulling back into that longer term uptrend. The bottom of the long-term uptrend today is nearly 715, and the top is almost 790. Both figures will slowly increase over time, so we keep that in mind. Taking all these factors into consideration, to see the stock trading around $800, I'm okay with the price and see it slightly favoring the buyer. This is primarily because within my valuation range, it's trading at about a 67 times earnings multiple. Therefore, it's slightly favoring the buyer. Then within the technical analysis, it has a longer term uptrend intact. And anytime I see an uptrend, even if the price is near the top of that uptrend range, such as today, I consider it to be an okay price because it's trending up. Some numbers I'm looking at in terms of a buyer include 600, which is the bottom of my fair value range, 715 to 735, that is the bottom of the long-term uptrend and the bottom of my adjusted fair value range, considering next quarter's guidance. 850, we notice multiple instances of support during March and April. Some numbers I'm looking at in terms of a seller include 910 to 960. We notice some resistance in this range. 1050, that is the top of my fair value range. And up here, about 1285, that is the top of my adjusted fair value range, considering next quarter's guidance. That wraps this video up. Please check out some of my past videos on this company and Supermicro in the description. Thank you for watching, and remember to subscribe.